Hello dudes and dudettes, and welcome back to Have You Ever Heard Of? The topic for today's video is a very special one, because it's a double whammy. That's right, we got a sequel to a live-action Disney movie. Because those are always winners, right? You know, I feel like I've done this before. This particular Benji movie was actually distributed by Disney. You know who Disney is, right? The guys with the stormtroopers and shit? Well, I'm sad to say that Disney isn't exempt from a good old-fashioned riffing, so have you ever heard of Benji the Hunted? Wow. That video must have been like, I don't know, centuries ago. God, those videos are terrible. Okay, could you believe? I used to have dreams back then. You shut the fuck up. Back in 1989, Disney released a little film called Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, a movie about a scientist played by Rick Moranis who invents a shrink ray that of course ends up zapping a bunch of kids who then have a wacky adventure with a giant pest. The movie was a success, so obviously there were sequels. The first one being this, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. No, not like that. Being that the first movie was about shrinking kids, the natural progression would be to have the next movie be about enlarging kids. Then a movie about the parents getting shrunk, and then a shitty 3D show at Disneyland. And believe it or not, this movie wasn't direct to video and actually had a theatrical release. Still pretty sure Wikipedia is lying to me about that. So the movie opens with the family going about their day-to-day in Nevada, not Fresno, California. Clearly planned by Moranis to avoid getting sent to prison for, you know, almost killing the neighbor's kids. But I would be more worried about the potential Pee Wee Herman lawsuit. I hear that guy takes stolen property very seriously. Hell, Doc Brown might have some words about these inventions. The whole family is here, and with the same actors reprising their roles, but now with a new addition named Adam. Actually, I say the family's all here, but in the first scene we learn that the oldest daughter, Amy, is on her way out the door to college. Never to be seen again. Did they really need the original actress in this movie for 10 minutes to explain that she's going off to college? A single line of dialogue could have replaced this scene. But this does give the mom an excuse to leave the house so she can take the daughter to her new school. Hope nothing zany happens while she's gone.
So when I get home, he'll take a late nap.
No. Honey, we don't say the N-word around 2-year-olds.
Thanks for that, Disney. Wasn't planning on saying the N-word to any 2-year-olds, but the heads up is appreciated.
And I put the babysitter's number on the refrigerator. Is there something I'm forgetting? I'm sure I'm forgetting.
Diane, relax. Don't you think I can handle things around here?
Yeah, what could go wrong? Oh. With the women out of the way, we get to see Rick Moranis at his job where he's working on the very important and very scientific task of creating awful CG. Meanwhile, his son Nick is busy selling people soggy hot dogs and checking out his crush Felicity. Nick is having problems though because he's a dork and his peers aren't too impressed by his dad's DeLorean knockoff.
Spaceship. The dweebmobile. again.
Thing probably doesn't even run on Mr. Fusion.
Dad, were you ever popular in school?
I'll say he spent most of the time drinking beer and acting like a Canadian stereotype.
So Mom tells me that there's some girl?
What? No. No, I was just wondering.
How was your flight?
Okay. I thought this movie's about his kid turning into King Kong. Why are we getting an angsty teenager plot?
So I was thinking with Mom and Amy out of town that this would give us guys a chance to talk about the, birds and the bees.
No need. I got this. And that's all you needed to know. Well, Moranis is 0 for 1 on his parenting game. Maybe Adam won't be such a buzzkill.
Which song should we sing?
ABCs.
How about Twinkle Twinkle? ABC.
ABC?
Yeah. Twinkle, twinkle. ABCs.
Look, kid, we couldn't afford ABC. Now sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Moranis gets a bright idea for whatever the hell it is he's doing at the lab, and the next day he brings his kids with him while he tests his theory out, while simultaneously proving my theory that the same music follows Rick Moranis around in every movie he's in.
Okay, guys.
One day, I was out looking for a nice place to build a city for my children.
Anyway, Moranis does a bunch of sciencey flim-flam and... Adam dies. Actually, nothing happens to the kid, nor does anything happen to the bunny they tried to zap. But things start getting weird when they get back home, and Padre Moranis calls a babysitter for Adam so he and Sonny Jim can spend some quality time and talk about boobs. And the babysitter he calls turns out to be Felicity. Because of course it is. Yeah, see, that doesn't seem very healthy. Instead of growing a third arm, Adam ends up finally getting large.
Boo.
Well, this is all good family-friendly fun and all, guys, but I don't know how long we can pull off these green screen effects. Better get him back to the lab.
Smitty, I forgot the keys to my van, and I couldn't start the van. It's in the lab. It's in the lab. It's in the lab, but I'm not going to use anything in there because of my security access thing, which you mentioned earlier.
Haha, shucks, I'm not a good security guard. Unfortunately, Moranis' boss is in the lab, and due to their fucking about earlier, the entire system has been erased.
So I hope you'll spare yourself the embarrassment of having to be escorted to the gate.
Well, you're gonna need a security guard to do that. And I'm pretty sure this guy's too busy laying more strangers in the lab. So Moranis gets kicked off the project. But this really begs the question why he didn't just let them know about the successful enlargement.
Look, Nick, remember we made you kids promise never ever to tell anyone you were accidentally shrunk and lost for 2 days?
Yeah?
That's because we didn't want you guys to become specimens, to undergo countless tests, to go through endless observations and who knows what else.
A logical roadblock for the main characters that ties into the first movie and further explains why the events of the first movie didn't drastically change the characters' lives in this one. It's a Disney sequel done right. For the most part. Oh no, Mom's back, and she's not gonna be happy.
All right, I confess, I did it.
Did what?
Peekaboo!
I blew up the baby.
The 90s. Man, Adam had some big toys. They all still fit perfectly in his hand for some reason. Meanwhile, the nosy neighbors start taking notice in how weird the family's property is.
We shouldn't bother with it. It's just a mailbox.
Little things have a way of becoming very big things, Patty.
Now, I know that's supposed to be funny because, you know, the baby turned huge. But, I can't not hear it as a dick joke. They think the mailbox is bad. Wait till they see what Moranis has in his backyard.
Feed me, Carbon! Feed me now!
So now they have to figure out how to get Adam back to normal without the fancy lab. And while that's happening...
My God. It appears to have 3 eyes.
A new life form of some sort.
Try scaling up the window.
Uh-huh. Wonder where they're going with all this. Oh! Well, I guess we had enough of those two already.
All I care about right now is getting my baby to shrink back to normal size.
Come on, Nikki, help me get him out to the van.
Shrink? Diane, wait! I got an idea!
We're all gonna need to see a psychiatrist. Or I guess he was thinking the shrink ray from the first movie. That works too. So Moranis and the wife head out to get the shrink ray, and meanwhile...
Hey, I'm bringing up the structural overlay.
Dr. Hendrickson, we can make out hair, bone, and metal, all sort of intertwined. I think you should take a look at this.
Okay, seriously, where are all these scenes leading? Because I don't remember an alien conspiracy plot when I watched this movie as a kid.
It's a baby and a stuffed bunny.
Oh. Okay. So all of those previous scenes of these two chuckle fucks interspersed with the scenes with the family were completely pointless. Got it.
Zelensky. I'm gonna pay him a little visit.
I believe you mean a little visit. Wait. Well, shit, in all the confusion, nobody bothered to tell Felicity the babysitting gig was off. And she will get her $2.50 an hour even if she has to burn this goddamn house to the ground. Well, thank goodness nothing's gonna get weird.
And if you promise not to scream, I'll take the gag out of your mouth.
Not weird at all. Adam ends up pulling a Roger Rabbit and starts rampaging through the neighborhood. Nick and Felicity in hot pursuit. Though you would think he wouldn't have gone very far.
Julia, be quiet and sit down. Now, for the famous Chinese blocks trick.
Oh, okay. Hello again, random editing. Suddenly there's a magic act.
Big Bunny.
She drowned. Damn, that's 3 women Adam's made faint. Probably from trying to imagine giving birth to the thing. Oh boy, here we go again. Huh. She must have a penis. The parents get back with the shrink ray, but Johnny Big Business has already shown up to take Adam and the 2 kids. Lloyd Bridges also shows up as head of the science thingy, presumably because he picked the wrong day to quit sniffing glue.
Just give me a chance, sir. I can get him back to normal.
You can? Yeah. With what, Zelensky? Coca-Cola bottles? Maybe some, chewing gum and twine?
Just who do you think you are talking to him like that?
Diane, let me handle this. Who do you think you are talking to me like that?
Lloyd Bridges doesn't approve of Dickless picking on Moranis, and apparently does a mean Alec Baldwin impersonation.
Charles? Yes, Clifford. You're fired.
And then he's along for the ride the rest of the movie, because he's very important to the plot? Eh? Everybody gets the news that Adam broke free and took Nick and the babysitter with him. Oh, and now he's suddenly 50 feet tall.
Like an electromagnetic force field.
That's what's causing the baby to grow.
Would this electromagnetic, would it surround neon lights too?
Yeah, why?
Oh, that's why this takes place in Nevada.
Your kid, he's headed toward Las Vegas.
Uh-oh. With that news, the adults make their stand in an attempt to shrink Adam before he kills an Elvis impersonator.
Oh, my God.
It can't be. What did you do, Ray? Oh, shit.
Do you think this is going to affect him for life? I mean, something like this could ruin a kid.
Honey, it might give him a different perspective. Help him see the big picture.
Yeah, but now his head's always going to be in the clouds. Can we move on? So in order to get Adam shrunk, they need him to hold still for a few seconds. What's the most unnecessary and convoluted plan we could come up with? Yeah, that'll do it. Except Moranis blows it by saying the N-word and falling off the bunny. Oh god, why does Adam look like he's enjoying this? So of course their attempt to shrink Adam fails and he makes his way onto the Las Vegas Strip. Now I know what we're all thinking. Why haven't I made a Godzilla joke yet? It makes perfect sense, right? Yeah, well, I will have you know I am above making such obvious jokes. That and the movie beat me to it. Nick and Felicity manage to get out of Adam's pocket and into a car. But this doesn't solve anything.
The car's like a toy to him.
Thanks for the explanation. I thought he was using it like a cell phone. I'm pretty sure he'd get good reception up there.
Oh my god.
Now why the hell would you try getting out of the car?
Nick, don't let go! Please!
I'm gonna pull you back up, okay?
Yeah, I'll pull you back up, but you got to promise to let me get to second base. Well, technically, he's still got to feel inside a shirt. The mom gets the idea to be enlarged to Adam's scale so she can settle him down. Because I guess the world isn't quite ready for a 30-story Moranis yet.
Wayne, time to get large.
What, here? In front of all these people? And hey, remember the random shot of the Hard Rock Cafe from earlier? Well, it was apparently put there awkwardly to foreshadow Adam grabbing the guitar later. Because we as an audience would clearly be lost without that establishing shot. So Big Bad Boss Man shows up to tranquilize Adam while he's being all adorable and shit, when... Man, after all these years, this scene still fucking gets me. So, time for an anecdote. The only reason I have any memory of this movie, and decided to make a video on it, was because I remember seeing this particular scene as a kid, and it making me really, really sad. And it still does, even watching it again. Something about the way all the other sound cuts off, Adam's reaction, the fact that he's really all alone and confused and was just having fun, and god damn, it's depressing. But all is well now that Mom is huge too.
Come here, baby. Come to mommy.
Suffocated by giant boobs. What a way to go. So Adam and his mom go back to normal size. Adam gets an ice cream, the greedy businessman gets socked in the face. Everything's wrapped up in a neat little package.
Don't tell me. Oh my god. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, whatever. It's a Disney movie. You just wrap that plot point up in the post-credits. Actually, to give this movie a proper happy ending, Nick is about to get his own happy ending, if you know what I'm saying. And his dad watches. That's weird. Honey, I Blew Up the Kid is an interesting specimen, as really my only draw into watching it again was to relive a scene I remember making me sad as a kid. I honestly had no memory of how Adam got huge, the giant mom saving the day, not even Lloyd Bridges, whose purpose in this movie I'm still dubious about. Just a scene where a big baby cries. Standards are low when you're little. But now watching it again, all I have to ask is, what the hell happened to Rick Moranis? According to the internet, Moranis took an acting hiatus in 1997, and all he's done since then is small voice work like in Brother Bear. He didn't even accept a cameo in the new Ghostbusters movie, which I guess was a smart move in retrospect, but come on man, you're an American treasure from Canada. Supposedly he's been on record saying he plans on being more selective with his roles. I mean, Honey, I Blew Up the Kid wasn't that bad, though the editing sure does try its damnedest to give you whiplash. Point is, I should have more dumb movie references to make, and I ran out too early. So, there it is, another sequel to another lesser-known live-action Disney franchise. I think it's safe to say I've come a long way since the last one I did. At least, I hope so. Bears, the ADD kids of the forest. Ugh. You know, they say you're your own worst critic, so maybe I need a second opinion. Well, that was fun. There was an owl. No reason for it, just an owl. Jerk didn't even tell us how many licks it takes to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop. Now the world may never know.
It stinks.
Oh, what do you know about comedy? This joke's getting weird.